Alright everybody, welcome back to the channel. We got another Disgaea RPG video for you guys. We're going to be talking about team building, which is going to be a huge aspect in Disgaea RPG. We're going to be using the guide from the actual Disgaea RPG website, so make sure to go ahead and check that out. Make sure to be supporting the game. Make sure to be downloading it, playing it, going crazy, baby. This game is going to be coming out today, and I want to have all these videos prepared for you guys, so that way you guys could go into this game being full-fledged Disgaea RPG veterans already. You guys are going to have all the information that you guys need. I posted a tremendous amount of guides. I will have a complete beginner's guide as well for this week, and kind of just different things like that. Because again, I want to cover this game very extensively. I feel like this game deserves it. It deserves the hype. It deserves the excitement. It deserves everything, bro. So we will be going into team building here. And by the way, if you guys are new to the channel, make sure to hit that like and subscribe button. We're going to be, again, doing all Disgaea RPG content, every news, summon, and everything else that you guys need. We will be covering it on this channel, so make sure to subscribe. We're already at 155, and that is absolutely wild to me, so thank you guys so much for the support. So let's go ahead and jump straight into this. Creating a team. The most important aspect when creating a team is finding units who synergize with each other to make up for weaknesses or to increase damage. Making a team in the early game is hard since your roster will be lacking, and access to high level magic is harder since you don't have staff, statues, or weapon mastery innocence. It's important to be creative and find units that are easy to access and can help your team through skills like the 1-star Prism Rangers units with the Power of Friendship skill that increases the team's attack by 25% for 3 turns. The goal of a team should be to clear 3 to 4 waves without any deaths. The easiest way to do this is by using cheap AoE skills. Some units learn them naturally like Disgaea. Other humanoid units can learn it by using a bow and getting its weapon mastery to level 9. A good team composition has 1 or 2 main damage dealers that can clear waves and kill bosses, while the rest of the team acts as healers, buffers, debuffers. Healing and debuffing is mostly used for challenge missions or raids. They can be ignored while leveling in favor of an extra buffer or damage dealer. So again, to kind of go over it, you want to make your team in a way that you could be 3-4 waves without any deaths. You don't want your team dying because you guys want to get all that nice little experience points. You want to get all the buffs and all that stuff, right? So you got to do all that correctly, right? And then over here, you have to have a good team composition. You have to have 1 or 2 main damage dealers that can clear waves. So, for example, like Disgaea, great AoE. Laharo, even when you give him the bow, he's great. Valvators is going to be doing a ton of damage. So you always want to get those AoE characters into your teams. And then you also want units like, the Prism Rangers that are giving that increase of 25%, which we'll get more into support units when we build upon more videos about team building, obviously. So we'll just kind of do stuff like that. But the one thing I am going to go ahead and just say here is, remember, you're going to start off very early on in this game. You're not going to have a whole lot of options in types of different teams and kind of just stuff like that in general. So you're just going to have to kind of take what you can get. Don't get upset if you guys can't make the perfect team by any means. Do not get upset about that. Just kind of go with the flow, and it will take time, and just stuff like that. So just kind of build your team up slowly, figure out what links together. You always want your units to be linking up, and obviously the end game will definitely help you get through that portion of it. So just make sure that you're doing your due diligence of that. So in the example below, I'm using a team of Laharo, Valvators, and 3 Prism Rangers. Laharo and Valvators are dedicated damage dealers using bows so they can clear waves effectively. The Rangers are equipped with fist weapons to increase their speed so that they can learn Triple Strike, which has a chance to apply amnesia to the opponent. For this team to work, the Prism Rangers needs to be faster than Laharo and Valvators so they can apply their buffs first. The Blue Rangers increase the team's speed so we can act before the enemy, and the Purple Rangers increases the attack of the ally unit that moves after him for 2 turns. And he's a little slower than the other Rangers, so that applies to the proper unit. So again, this is a great way of doing it. You have a unit helping out with the speed, you have a unit helping out with the attack, and you have these 2 units right here that's going to be doing their AoEs if they got their bows, right? So that is probably how you're going to want to build up your teams a majority of the time. There's not going to be many other moments that you're not going to want to be doing something like this, right? A good early buffing candidate is the Prism Rangers, which drop from the last stage in each episode. Each episode has its own Prism Ranger colors that it drops. The first sub-ability of each Ranger is different than it should be considered if using them in a team. The Professor has a skill that increases the target's attack and speed, and can she be changed into magic support once you get a mage team that generates a lot of SP each turn, so she can use her high cost imp buff. Like the other units, Dark Knight doesn't have a buffing skill, but he can learn Braveheart. and Mega Braveheart. By leveling his staff mastery, his abilities are strong and worth making a sword team around. His main ability increases attack by 12% of the sword wielder, and his NE plus 5 ability gives all the sword wielders plus 10 SP each time he has a turn. Thus, combined with his Braveheart magic, makes him one of the best mid to end game supports you can find. Crippling a healer with a sword could, as an example, enable to using AoE healing spells more often by sacrificing a bit of res. So you want to get those Prism Rangers. They're always going to have you know, different support type passives, so you definitely want to grab those. And like, you do have the Professor as well, who's going to be helping with the single target attack and defense should be changed to Magic Sword once you get med. So I'm just kind of rereading this real quick. Braveheart is also very good to have, just like in the normal Disgaea games. You have plenty of Braveheart characters that you could throw on, like you could always kind of throw that attack buff on. So definitely use the Braveheart stuff. And then you just have a bunch of different units, dude. Here, so I'm probably going to go ahead and make a separate video for team building. Probably going to make a couple of them, like best linking, best stuff like that. This is just kind of like a general broad overview that you want support on your teams, and you kind of want to have 2 main damage dealers and a bunch of support to help those main damage dealers kind of, you know, fend for themselves and kind of destroy everything. It's basically what you want them to be doing. So just keep that in mind when you're doing your team building process. Again, once I get more into the game, I will be doing more in-depth guides on like easier stuff like team building for beginners. But actually, this video will probably be like team building for beginners, honestly. So, but yeah, it was a huge shout out to Miss Nikolai, or Mr. Nikolai, for the guide. Again, this is going to be very good for your journey across Disgaea RPG. So make sure to give the game tons of support, give the devs tons of support. They are going absolutely insane with how much love that they're putting into this game, and I definitely feel like this is definitely super duper worth your time. It's a fantastic game, you know, it's amazing. So keep pushing, keep downloading the game, and we will keep building teams together, and I'll get better at making these guides so that way I can give you guys more information regarding certain things. So alright guys, I'm pretty much done here. Just wanted to make this little video before you guys get into your Disgaea RPG life. You know, basically just have this up for you so you guys could see how the game works and just different things like that. So here is your team building guide, and alright, and yeah, very excited for the game. The game is going to be coming out in a couple hours, which is very, very cool. And yeah, and then once I get that, I'll probably start streaming it over on Twitch a lot, because I want this game to become like my main Twitch game for the most part. So pretty excited, man. Pretty freaking excited. So alright boys, hope you guys enjoyed the video. Make sure to like and subscribe and do all that greatness. Disgaea RPG could definitely become the next big thing, and we're going to do our absolute best on this channel to push that narrative. I want this game to go through the moon. I want it to go past any other gacha game. I want this game to be a giant success, and I will be here to help as much as I possibly can. So I'll see you guys soon. Take care and peace out, everybody.